Hi everybody, this is a red and white Arcane Bombardment deck, and we finally got 3 copies of Quintorius Kand, the new planeswalker from Ixalan, folded into this Boros spellslingery style control list. Now, when I first saw Quintorius in spoiler season, I was a little worried that it wouldn't work with Bombardment. See, Quintorius triggers when we cast spells from exile, and the wording on Bombardment is notoriously tricky in that it doesn't always work with the spells you think it's going to work with. So imagine my surprise when I take him out on the ladder and he works exactly like he should with Bombardment. For every spell we cast with Bombardment, that's one more trigger that Quintorius can give us. So normally he's set up to take advantage of things like Discover cards or even Adventure cards, kind of run-of-the-mill stuff that you're going to run into with the last few sets that we've been seeing. And we might focus on that style in a future video, but for now, I just wanted to take old Quintorius out on the ladder here and just see how useful he would be in a Bombardment-style shell. So yeah, let's see a few games with this deck over on the ranked standard ladder. All right, well, we've got Quintorius. Let's give this a go. It's that time of year when I'm sick for 2 weeks. Just kidding. Although it has been hanging on a long time. Opponent starting us off here, we've got Crawling Chorus. Start off with the Bivouac since we have no turn 1 plays. Oh, wow, okay. Mirex was their only white source on turn 1, but they've got the green and the blue, so that's still still not the greatest. Alright, got some Reckless Impulse in here. Haven't tried Reckless Impulse too much with Bombardment. Let's try to get rid of this Rot Priest while we can. Yep, no colorless responses available to the opponent, but we're up to 3 poison counters. And yeah, let's go ahead and do this. If they untap and they've got like a spell snare or something, we don't want to run our Union into that. Anyway, what was I saying? Reckless Impulse. So it's nice in that we get to keep the cards until the end of our next turn. So it's pseudo card draw and trying it out in place of Thrill. The downside is that it's sorcery speed. Oh good, maps don't trigger the Rot Priest. Hadn't considered that little interaction when we started running Get Lost. But Get Lost is super nice for the incidental enchantment removal it provides. Okay, so we're 1 off Quintorius. Let's go Impulse. We see Lightning Strike. Let's try to strike the Rot Priest while they're tapped out. Okay, that works, but we're up to 5 poison counters. Going to go up to 6 with this attack from the Chorus. Opponent uses the map we generously gave them. Finds a Mirex. Slaughter Singer, so that's going to pump up the Chorus. We're fine on life. It's the poison counters we really got to worry about at this point. So what makes the most sense here? I think we got to play with Fire the Singer. Let's go big score. We have too many lands. We pick up a Union and a Forge. All right. Ooh, what now? Opponent with the Elusive Otter? Pumps up the Chorus, but still just 1 poison counter. That's an interesting inclusion. All right. So if we go Quintorius, we get Spirit Tokens or we can Discover. Spirit Tokens should help us block. I think that's the way to go here. That'll preserve the option to Discover if we want to get Bombardment down next turn. We can also Reckless Impulse if we trade in one of these treasures. Okay, we got a land for next turn and a Lightning Strike. Don't touch Quintorius. It's taken me so long to get these 2 cards together. Come on. Okay, Quintorius is safe. Brutalizer comes down. That's a lot of toxicity, and it's a little big for this burn. But we kind of just got to start doing some things here. Oh, and it doesn't have Trample. That's good. All right, let's go Bombardment. 2 mana left. Let's go Lightning Strike on the Chorus. Okay, Quintorius triggers off of that, because that was Reckless Impulse. To play with fire from Bombardment. That triggers Quintorius. Okay. So that's interesting. So he doesn't care if it's a real card cast from exile. It's just from exile, which I guess the copies are cast from off of Bombardment. Yeah, let's just sit back with these tokens. That Bombardment's such a confusing card sometimes. Well, this is wonderful. Okay. So then for each copy of a spell under Bombardment, we should get a separate trigger as well. All right, let's chump these creatures. Time to start casting spells from exile. What do you got, opponent? Elusive Otter coming down. Get Lost off the top. Well, just to be safe, let's try to get lost to this big creature. Bombardment gets us a Union. Let's play with fire on this Otter. 1, 2 triggers off of Quintorius for both of those spells. Huh. All right. Well, I think... yeah, okay. I think we've got some tinkering to do then. Yeah, let's... wow. I'm just like flabbergasted that actually worked. All right. Good game. All right. So we're made some tweaks. We're back with a slightly different version here. Got a couple of adventure cards, down a little bit on Reckless Impulse. Slumbering Keep Guard, so we care about enchantments over there. All right. Well, my dream, while our opponent pumps up their Keep Guard, my dream with this deck was to get it structured in such a way where that we can Quintorius, and when he discovers, he picks up Depopulate automatically. I don't think there are enough good adventure cards in Standard right now to make that a reality. But something for Explorer, perhaps. Reign of Truth ticking up for the opponent. Not going to let that happen. Spellbook Vendor. That card is way more annoying than it should be. So they get the Sorcerer Roll token on that. We'll land number 3. And let's wait on the Lightning Strike, although I'm not sure it matters. So yeah, we landed somewhere in the middle where we've got some Depopulates, we've got some Virtues in here to cast from exile. Trying to see what the right number of spells that give us things to do in exile versus just having a straight bombardment deck. Trying to figure out what that balance is. All right, Reign of Truth happens. Okay, Wedding Announcement. I was going to say, if this is an enchantment-focused build, you can expect to see Wedding Announcement, probably Hallowed Haunting, Ossification. All right, let's go big score, turn 4, discard Eiganjo. Get a Bivouac and Quintorius. Another Depopulate off the top. Let's play out the Bivouac. Pass it on over here. So this should give us a little window if we can catch both of these flipped sagas with a Depopulate. Ooh, there's a Restoration. Finds a land. Comes in for the attack to get the draw off of Announcement. Drops us down to 8. All right. Big score, the draw. Well, let's Depopulate, try to slow this down a little bit. We're a little bit low to just go throwing stuff out there, especially against white. Notoriously having things like Destroy Evil. Just ways to remove our bombardment. Although a lot of the removal and just a lot of the creatures nowadays come with built-in enchantment removal anyway, so might be a difficult couple of months going forward, but let's give this a try. Let's throw Quintorius out there. Give us a blocker. So even if they have a way to get rid of this blocker, Quintorius still survives and could see bombardment. Whereas if we discover he's low enough to get taken out by that token. Alright, Reign of Truth. Triggers the Keep Guard for the Scry. Keeps one on the top. Pumps the token up to a 5/5. Oh. Opponent with a Petrify. Fancy pacifism, I guess. Triggers the Keep Guard for the additional Scry. Alright, takes a look at Quintorius, decides to attack there. Well, nothing we can do about that at this point. Probably should have tried to virtue that creature away. Alright, well, we can rebuild. It's okay. All in the name of science here. So we've depopulated their stuff away. Reign of Truth is going to flip over in a little bit. Let's go Reckless Impulse to see a couple more cards. Of course, no land when we could have used it. A few interesting things down in our graveyard. There's the Hallowed Haunting. But still no cards. This might be our bombardment window. Let's go for it here. Okay, so Reign of Truth flipping over. Any more enchantments are going to produce spirits with the Haunting. But no, okay. Alright, double bombardment, not the most useful. Let's go for Reckless Impulse. See if we can find a backup Quintorius here. We pick up Depopulate. That's great to get rid of the Reign of Truth. Brotherhood's End off the top. Might be okay for clearing out tokens, but not really what we're going for. Okay, opponent with the Wedding Announcement triggers the Haunting. Gonna start spewing out tokens. We might have a use for this Brotherhood's End yet. Let's get rid of this Hallowed Haunting here while we have the Get Lost then. Yeah, and if we've got unlimited depopulates under bombardment, the creatures are not so much the concern as the value generating enchantments. Great, token hits the board, third copy of Bombardment. Let's play our land from exile. Yeah, I think we want a big score here. Let's ditch one of these bombardments. We're going to depopulate for free and Reckless Impulse. See a couple of lands. And another big score from the actual draw. Well, that'll be good for playing on our opponent's turn. Trying out Pit of Offering in this deck as a way to exile things from the graveyard, but I don't know. It doesn't feel that great in this deck. All right, let's big score. Triggers bombardment. We see big score. Let's get rid of Impulse. Free depopulate for the turn. Reckless Impulse to see a couple extra things off the top. We get Lightning Strike and Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin I do not regret including in these decks. So many creature lands these days. All right, let's go. No Quintorius, where are you? Let's go land. And I think... Yeah, we have a little burn, but not that much. Let's cast our Lightning Strike from exile for the turn here. Yeah, because we've got a lot of card draw tucked under this bombardment. We don't need to depend on Virtue, and we could just use it as a spell. Reckless Impulse. Play with fire. Scry sees land, no thank you. Lightning Strike. Okay, well, that's a lot of cards. Let's fire up the creature land here. Might as well get in for a little bit of 3 damage. Okay, opponent with a couple of cards in hand. Surprised they don't have reliquaries in there. Good way to draw. Alright, let's do Virtue of Courage for the spell to trigger Bombardment. 2 Reckless Impulses under there. We're digging for Quintorius now. It's all on. Let's discard planes. Play with fire to the face. Already got our depopulate going here. Virtue doesn't draw cards and is not Quintorius. Brotherhood's End and Union. Depopulate clears the board. We get Lightning Strike and a land. Get Lost and a Sokenzan. Alright. Back to our turn. Whole buffet of options here. Tell you what, we're just going to put out Virtue of Courage. And play with fire our opponent's face. Trigger the bombardment. We've got... that's a good deal of card draw. Okay, we've got the Scry. Get Lost to the bottom. Triggers Virtue. Yep, let's take action. There's Quintorius. Alright. We've drawn a ridiculous amount of cards in search for this elephant. Nope, where is he? There he is. Let's put him out on the board. Quintorius. There he is. Alright. Land. Let's play Reckless Impulse from exile. We've already triggered Bombardment for the turn. This is just for Quintorius' sake. Alright, and just a final Get Lost. We'll finish him with the trigger here. Excellent. Well, it was late, but it was fine. Good game. Alright. Yeah, let's put Battlefield Forge back. Kind of want to avoid starting with 2 landers. Arena's really been punishing me with those. Unless you got a way to dig out of it, gotta throw those hands back. Ooh. This is a Jetmir poison deck? Haven't faced one of those in a while. Let's go flick a coin on the Void Wing. Nice little bit of ramp. We draw another one. Okay, opponent trying it again. Well, we'll do the same plan again. That sounds fine to me. Nice bit of ramp here. We're already up towards 6 mana territory. With a land, we can trigger Bombardment if we can squeeze it through next turn. Yeah, we got it. We got to go for it. If it hits, this is pretty much the game. I know they run counter spells. Question is, do they have one? No. Bring the ending. Okay. Alright, well, half of our hand is now card draw spells. I'm sure we'll find a backup. But, yeah, on an opponent with kind of a slow start, if you can land that, you're in business. Let's go see what we can do in the meantime. Alright, Impulse clears a couple of lands off the top. Looks like we're going to be unioning here. Prologue to Phyresis. Alright, well, let's union while you're tapped out then. Okay, second copy of Bombardment off the top. Bad news is the opponent's got the train started on poison counters for us. So all their proliferate effects will now poison us. Third Void Wing from the opponent. Well, they're tapped out. Bombardment. Your turn. Let's... yeah, let's... well... yeah, let's go for it. If we don't remove it, it's worse than the alternative. We pick up Union, get a Lightning Strike. All right. That was okay. I was kind of hoping we would pick up a flick a coin there, because with the second treasure, we could cast both of these spells in our hand. Opponent with the Infectious Inquiry brings us up to 2. All right, let's go Lightning Strike on the opponent. So with that card draw, they're going to start infecting us a little more regularly. We kind of need to speed up, especially since they countered our first win condition. Oh yeah, for those of you watching at home, I have traded in Sunfall for the Depopulates that I had in this deck. Opponent with an Experimental Augury, pick something off the top. Going to bring us to 3 poison counters. Going to bring some Void Wings back from the grave. But yeah, one thing I've been finding with standard Depopulate, not enough with the kind of resilient creatures that keep coming back. We're going to get lost this, though, just to trigger Bombardment. Get the Impulse. We will flick a coin our opponent's face. Do a little Union for the card draw. The life, not so important in this match. And hits them with a couple of map tokens. We've got to flick a coin in exile. Let's draw a little bit more. See if we can't find our elephant friend. Big score gets us another Bombardment. Opponent discards some extra Void Wings over there. All right, there's the elephant. All right, this is like ideal circumstances for Quintorius. I think we've got the mana to make this work. Let's give it a try. So flick a coin from exile. Triggers Quintorius. Triggers Bombardment. 4 spells from exile. Lightning Strike. Impulse. We'll flick a coin at the face. Union. 4 beautiful elephant triggers. Brings us up to 48 after that Union. Reckless Impulse. And finally, that's just the first Bombardment spell. Lightning Strike to finish it off. Good game. All right, I think we're dialing it in here. Getting a good Boros kind of control list. Opponent's got a Hopeful Initiate. Gonna have to take that out as soon as possible. Not a friend of the Bombardment, that creature. But yeah, we've got this tweaked to a point where I'm a little bit happier with it. It's not entirely dependent on Quintorius for winning. But when he does stick around, lots of fun. Opponent just plays out a Lauren of the Third Path. I guess that's fine. See what I was saying about incidental enchantment removal? Like, these are both decent creatures. If you just throw them in your deck, you're going to be able to catch all the weird stuff that I'm playing. Hits us with Lauren. All right, we don't draw the land, but we do draw the flick. Let's flick a coin at Lauren. Ooh, thanks for the card. Opponent lets us both draw. There's our land. Go Battlefield Forge, pass it on over here. Opponent with a Foundry. Thalia. Yeah, nothing we can do about that. Thought for a second we could float some mana, but that's not how that works at all. Oh, and Lauren's going to take out my treasure. There goes my guaranteed Quintorius for next turn. Ah, second copy of Quintorius. Everybody's very expensive. All right. Well, we're going to need to take out Thalia before we do anything else. Might as well wait for our opponent's turn. We're still at 18. Put one of these in the grave. All right, opponent coming in with the attack. Not activating the Foundry, interestingly. Not sure if they're trying to keep up a wandering... Nope, okay. Recruitment Officer. All right, let's go Sacred Fire on Thalia. Or Talia, I'm not sure what the official pronunciation on that card might be. It's big score. Great, we got a Sunfall. Let's play our land out. Opponent does get to activate Officer, but I'm hopeful that they start just throwing things out on the board. Ooh, there's an adversary. That could hurt. Yeah, they go with the adversary. Let's see. So they can pump it twice. Ouch. Okay, so we're on the hook for 8 damage. Going to drop to 8 with this attack. Yeah, I think that's fine. Could lightning strike there and save a little bit of damage, but I kind of want to keep these treasures for the expensive stuff that we're trying to do. Let's go Sunfall here and clear the board before we start playing out our later game win cons. All right, Lauren draws us a card. Was not a land. Glad we kept these treasures. Opponent with an Adeline. Uncounterable thanks to the Cavern of Souls. Recruitment Officer. Alright. Luckily, very slow creatures over there. So if we bombardment, there is one Sunfall down there. There's a Sacred Fire. I think we might be alright. So let's put bombardment down. Let's pass. We've got a lightning strike in hand. Would love to be able to take out this foundry. Spellbook vendor from the opponent. Okay, goes to attacks. Spellbook vendor gonna target the officer. Okay. In response, we'll lightning strike the officer. So that'll save us a little bit of damage from the officer itself and Adeline. We pick up lightning strike. Yep, let's hit the vendor. Yeah, hopefully opponent... I don't think that's enough if they activate Foundry now and attack with that too. Nope, just 3 damage. Okay. And Sacred Fire the pickup. Really kind of behind on lands. Let's go Reckless Impulse, activate Bombardment here. Let's go Lightning Strike at Adeline and play with fire. If we can get Quintorius out, that could get us back in the game thanks to the life gain, but I don't know. Sacred Fire, we got Get Lost off the top. It might just be... Yeah, it might just be a turn or two of playing instants until we can guarantee we won't get hit by this Foundry. Any other pumpable creatures they might have. Because if Quintorius... Oh, all right. We got there. Good game. All right. Too few lands here. Let's mulligan that. We'll keep it. Put Bombardment back for later. Start with the tap land. So this is pretty slow. We've got Play with Fire for the Scry. Excellent. There's another land. Let's go second tap land. I don't think I would have kept this if we didn't have those 3-drop spells that draw us cards. And Flick a Coin actually super nice for ramping us in Bombardment. So opponent with an Invasion of Tarkir hits us in the face, but doesn't show any dragons. Then no turn 2 play. A little suspicious. Let's Flick a Coin our opponent for the draw. There's another land. Very nice. Sundown Pass, also good. Goes Lightning Strike at the Invasion. Okay. Then Urabrask's Forge. Okay. Forge, just a great repeatable source of damage. Feels a little bit like a Planeswalker, honestly. Really good card right now. All right, let's go Union. Opponent hits our face instead of the battle, probably because they couldn't flip it instantly with that small Forge token they have. Oh, and Get Lost doesn't hit artifacts. Man, Forge, kind of well placed right now, I must say. Ah, excellent. Brotherhoods end the draw from us. I was facing a mono-red opponent. Oh, this is like... I was going to say, I was facing an opponent earlier who landed 3 Forges against me, and I did not have Brotherhood's End in the deck at the time. Needless to say, we lost that game. Opponent attacks the invasion. Excuse me. Going to flip that over. But it may be time for our revenge on all these Forge players. And I think if we go Get Lost here on the dragon they worked so hard to flip over, we can give them some map tokens and catch all of those in a Brotherhood's End for artifacts. So let's use our treasure since that's going away. Gives us enough mana to big score with the 4 we've got left over. All right, vengeance is mine for that other game. Invasion of Regatha. Oh, that's the one that hurts. Yeah, that's the 4 damage one. All right, let's go big score then. Couple of lands. Come on, Dick. Ugh, that would have been a perfect turn for one of our finishers. Let's keep drawing. All right, we'll hold up Flick a Coin here. Opponent plays Reckless Impulse. Ooh, finds 2 mountains off the top. Well, maybe they needed them. Second Invasion. That is the more painful of the 2. Oh, hits the other invasion with it. All right, let's Flick a Coin our opponent. All right, now we got it. Quintorius. And a Sunfall to back it up, although I'm not sure how many creatures our opponent's going to be playing. All right, let's go Quintorius. Let's go Spirit here. That gets him up to 5 loyalty. And if we can attack with this land, that's going to put a counter on our Spirit. And at least take it out of range of things like Play with Fire, although it can still be struck down with Lightning. Also big enough to block that Foundry. They're still not attacking with it, though. Mechanized Warfare from the opponent. Torch the Tower. Okay. Similar to Play with Fire, but big enough now thanks to the Warfare to take out our Spirit token. Taking a look at Quintorius. Lightning Strike. That's going to be for 4. Oh, they hit the invasion. Going for the Disciples. Quintorius still at a comfy loyalty level. Well, let's go for Sunfall then. Let us keep up some instants on our opponent's turn for any surprises. And let's see, yet not comfortable with activating the creature land this turn. And I guess we can flip over our Incubator if we really need a blocker. Okay, burn down the house. Quintorius just out of range of the 5 damage mode. Oh, wait, but they did have Warfare. Ooh. That's okay. Devil's still pretty effective. Let's see if we can navigate this situation. So the Devils are going to do 2 damage guaranteed to whatever they want. Let's block the 2 that are attacking other things and let through the one that's going to hit my face. Because if we leave 1 alive, they can't take out Quintorius in one go. Yep, so Quintorius still at 2. If we had taken out that devil, he would have gone. All right, Quintorius, you're on Spirit making duty today, bud. Let's turn on the Bivouac. Yeah, let's turn on both Bivouacs. Go to attacks. And both counters on the Spirit for blocking duty. Trying to keep our Spirits out of range of these burn spells here. Okay, opponent going to attacks. All right, well, don't touch Quintorius. He's just out of range of a Devil trigger taking him out here. Okay, Quintorius down to 1. Oh, into the fire. gets both of our things and hits their battle for them. That's a solid include in that deck. All right, well, tell you what. I don't want to worry about this Foundry anymore. Let's go Field of Ruin. Take that out nicely. Grab literally any land. And now let's pump up the Bivouac here. Another word I'm not sure I'm saying correctly. We'll hit our opponent for 3. Keep up some mana for some instants. Maybe blocking with our other creature land here. Burn down the house from our opponent. On Devils. Yeah, that spell gets so much better with Mechanized Warfare. See where they attack. Okay, everybody going for the invasion. They are set on flipping that over. Tell you what, let's flick a coin one of them. We're going to have to get these Devils off the board eventually. Ooh, and we pick up a Quintorius off the top with the draw. And yeah, this attack should flip over the Invasion of Regatha. Great, there's the Disciples. Okay. Well, let's get lost on the Disciples now. Alright, leaves them with 2 Devils. We get a Eiganjo off the top. Well, it's definitely Quintorius. And back to Spirits mode. And I think we have enough here. Let's go for it. Oh, they've got the Play with Fire. Thanks to the Warfare, that's enough to take out the land. Okay. Yeah, let's just pass it on back there. We've got a treasure here for a Play with Fire, but that's kind of all of our combat tricks. Opponent now gets to explore, sees another invasion off the top. Brings that Devil up to 2/2. Yep, going to do the same with the other Devil now that they know what's on top. All right, we're really fighting over this elephant here. All right, we can block one of them. And I'm going to Play with Fire the other one. All right, does the damage to Quintorius. Devil crashes into our Spirit. More damage on Quintorius. Okay, big score. Let's make a Spirit. Let's go Bivouac. So these creature lands have been wearing our opponent down. Yeah, let's put a counter on that Spirit. Ooh, opponent's got Sokenzan. Yep, that's enough. Throws both in front of the Bivouac. That's fine. That's fine. So our plan here is to big score and see if we can get something else going on here for us. Ooh, Invasion of Regatha. Hits us and our creature. Not enough to take the creature out, but we're down to 10. Let's go big score. Discard Eiganjo. Ooh, 2 lands. And a Play with Fire off the top. Alright, Quintorius, make us a Spirit. Let's just attack here. We're out of creature lands, unfortunately, so we're just going to have to conduct a war of attrition with our Spirit tokens. Opponent hits our big Spirit with a Play with Fire. There's Bombardment. We've got a spell in hand. This should gain us a little bit of life as Bombardment picks up one thing from the graveyard here. Flick a coin. And Quintorius's trigger with the Play with Fire, that finally does it. All right. Good game there. We're gonna have to make some more stuff with Quintorius.